Everybody's awake.
Hi.
How you doing? Everybody's awake and breathing.
Every person here today can learn how to build and maintain a bird garden. A bird habitat, or what some call a bird garden, needs four basic things: a source of food and water, shelter, native plants, and a secure environment. A bird garden has several benefits, including a nice source of beauty for your yard, and the birds themselves help rid your yard of any unwanted pests and bugs. I have had my bird garden for several years, and as it grows bigger, I can vouch for these benefits. Let's talk about a few of the basics that a bird garden needs. First, the food and water source needs to be clean and appropriate for the species. Second, the shelter needs to be adequate and safe from weather and predators. Third, the plants need to be native so the birds feel comfortable in the environment. And last, the birds need protection from predators. Let's talk about a few of these options and get a little more in detail. The first thing a bird garden needs is a clean and appropriate source of food and water. The bird feeders need to be placed in a secure environment that are in a natural place where the birds would flock. The type of feeder you use really just depends on what you want to use. You can use a tube feeder, you can use a feeding tray, or you can just scatter the feed on the ground. Doesn't really matter. Although the type of food you use will depend on what kind of bird you want. For larger songbirds like cardinals and robins, you need to use a larger seed like safflower seeds. If you want smaller birds like finches and lovely birds, you need to use small seeds like thistle. And if you're not really sure what kind of bird you want, go with the ready mix. After you've selected your spot for your food, you need to provide a source of water. Most people use a bird bath, a pedestal bird bath. However, some birds do not mind just taking a little bath in a basin on the ground. So if you don't have a pedestal bird bath, you can always just get a basin on the ground. Robert Dizal, who's a writer for Reader's Digest, suggests that you clean your feed and water basin with 9 parts water and 1 part bleach. This will help reduce the risk of illness and disease to the birds. Because without a source of food and water that is clean, it's almost hard to lure birds into your habitat. The second thing needed for the bird garden is a shelter that's adequate for the species. Most birds, larger birds, don't mind their shelter being in a community atmosphere. Like my purple martins. They don't mind all staying at the same place. These are larger birds. The smaller birds, like your sparrows and wrens, they need to live alone and away from other people. It's also important to know that when you have your smaller birds, the entry hole needs to be smaller for the bird size, needs to be higher up on the birdhouse so other larger birds don't come in and take the babies. It's also important to know that you can also provide some nesting material scattered around your bird garden for your birds. Catherine Pyle, who wrote a book on bird gardens, suggests you use moss, straw, wood shavings, animal hair, or even dryer lint. These are what birds like to make nests out of. But preparing a shelter year after year will help your birds come back. The third thing that's required for your bird garden are plants that are naturally found in their environment. Donald Stokes of Better Homes and Gardens recommends you use evergreen shrubs because they're thick, they provide a place for the bird to shelter at night and shelter during the day from predators. You can also plant wildflowers that produce seed pods, which will provide an alternate source of food. And low-growing plants and wild grasses will also attract bugs and provide nesting materials too. Be sure to try use a variety of these plants and also plants that are found in their natural habitat. The last thing that's needed for the bird garden is security from predators. The most common predator for the birds are household pets. Your sweet little kitty cat needs a bell put around her neck so she does not eat your birds. And another pest is squirrels. Will eat the bird food. To try and keep the squirrels away, you can put up a fence or just feed the birds in another area. These predators are natural to the habitat, so try to be patient, because without these predators, you probably wouldn't have the birds either. As you now know, bird gardens need 4 things: clean and appropriate food and water, shelter, native plants, and protection from predators if it's going to be successful. If you would like to start a bird garden, remember this. Start small. Provide a small source of water and food, and just see what birds show up. And then you can get more specific to that bird's needs. But whether it's big or small, you can remember that your bird garden can be a peaceful sanctuary for both you and your birds. Thank you.
Take a look again. Peeky, 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 peeky.